Okay, we'll go ahead and start out with the approval of the board minutes for February 1st.
I'll make a motion to accept the board.
There is only one. Kissel is not spelled that way. I think it's Kistle. And I don't know if I guess we can call it Kissel House because it was Kissel House for years and years and years. This is the house that I was mentioning. Why don't they?
Okay, what's it called? Kissel?
Kissel.
Ki-
Kissel?
Kissel?
I think it's Kistle.
Okay.
He used to be the janitor here.
Okay,
Just, I don't think it's spelled that way, the way you have it. I didn't get a chance to check to make sure.
okay. Any public comment? No public comment, all in favor?
Did I second it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I thought, yeah, you said, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion been carried and passed. Okay, we'll go to correspondence. The first one's from Jim Banquet. Banquet?
Okay,
Bouquet. Oh,
and that one's in concern to, Brown's Gulch. I don't know if you wanted to do that one now or during Brown's Gulch.
well, I'll just set it out and we'll read it during Brown's Gulch, because it's at 11:15. And then the next one's from Mako, and it's on the concerns of our annual basis of a good average number. Relation to $25,000 threshold that triggers MT prevailing wage for public contracts and impacts.
Recording in progress.
Unmute it. Hi, people.
We're back going.
Yep, we're good.
Okay, so the next one's from Megan Redmond on proposed rockfall mitigation project for Highway 1 near Phillipsburg. And then the next one is the Granite County Justice Court. End of period disbursement. And then we got another letter from Montana Association of Counties on the Healthcare Trust. Is preparing the final renewal rates for member groups renewing on July 1st, 2022.
They haven't sent the rates yet.
It says they're just preparing it
Okay.
no later than March 1st, says. There you go, Blanche.
Okay.
And that's all we have on the correspondence. I'll set the one out for the 11:15 meeting.
Well, what about, we have, Georgetown Lake,
It comes on at,
that wasn't there.
let me see it there. We didn't put Georgetown Lake on.
Yeah, it's on.
Oh, yeah, at 10 o'clock, Brandon. I always think that's, yeah. never
Yeah.
mind. It's on at 10 o'clock.
What is it?
642802, 17.76 inches.
This has got rid of the 18.
Last week was 18 in. So we'll go into public comment. Any public comment? Good morning, Elena. Go ahead.
Good morning. Thank you. For the record, it's Elena Gagliano. I just want to say again, there were no introductions when the meeting began. So the people on Zoom, not many of us, but I'm sure this is going to be the normal from now on Zoom meetings, know who's there in person.
Nobody's here but the three commissioners, thank you.
Well, I'm not finished. Thank you.
What's that?
Watching it from Zoom, we have no clue. So when you go right into the agenda, we do not know who's there or who's speaking.
Okay.
That's what I'm not finished.
I just
Wait a minute,
agreed.
let me look. Let's see, there's supposed to be 10 minutes on public comment. May I finish? And then I just want to say that last night there was the Flint Creek Advisory Committee meeting. And if any of you were there who have a report, it'd be kind of interesting considering they talked about the outflow and if there was anything brought up about what's going on with the hydroelectric plant. Now I'm finished. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Elena, Billy and I were at the Flint Creek Dam Advisory Committee, and I will speak on that at 10 a.m. when the dam tenders report.
Thank
with
you, Glenn.
Brandon.
Thank you, Commissioner McClure.
If there's no other public comment, I want to bring something.
Wow, what?
I want to bring something up that we put on the agenda for next week. I don't know if you guys got it or not, but there was a message sent to me about the HR 1755 in the Congress, and it basically is, because I'm on the public lands, I think, well, I got it. But anyway, it's bringing up all the wilderness areas that we've hashed out before to rejoin. And basically, there's like 4 of them in this county. Basically, to me, it looks like everything is burned off. It looks like, but I haven't seen the map, so I don't know. But there's individual areas. There's an Emerang one, and there's a Bog Basin one, and there's Quick Peak, and then the other one that's in between those. And anyway, they wanted in the committee in DC, they wanted input and letters written against this. I mean, this is in 4 states, like Washington, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming. And it brings up all the stuff that we've already hashed out. It's already been through Congress. It's already, a lockup. And it also talks about a corridor for there's some more added on to Anaconda Network. And it talks about a corridor. Now, this is, I just got this last night, so I don't know exactly.
Who sent it to you, Chuck?
It's from ACO. Anyway, I think we should put this on the agenda for next week.
Okay. Can we get,
Maybe a half an hour.
okay, is there somebody that can give us an update? Can we get a hold of them and give us an update so we know what we're gonna?
We can try. Yeah.
It may,
I mean, this is huge. I mean, this thing is huge.
well, that's what I'm saying though. Hey, that, I thought maybe if we could find somebody that, you guys were hey, we're having a meeting. Anyway, Chuck, sorry about that. I was gonna, if we could find out who's kind of in the head of this, or if we could find
Well,
out.
we could get hold of Chantel.
Okay,
Here's what's the first part of this. Please see the information below that came directly from HR 1755, which would designate 23 million acres of new wilderness in Montana, Oregon, Washington, and Wyoming. The minority staff of the House Natural Resource Committee Congressional reached out to the National Association of Counties, NACO, and asked for letters opposing this bill. They are looking for individual responses from impacted states. As members of the NACO Public Lands Committee, please review the summary and designations below and decide if you would like to provide a letter. You may, of course, also submit letters individually as commissioners who may be impacted by these areas. If you decide as a committee or individually to produce a letter, please send it to us and we will ensure it gets to the committee today. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask so we can talk to Chantel and maybe more information. And I haven't seen that.
Okay. So what you're saying is they want to redistrict the wilderness or change it, or
add
Is that
more,
what they-
it sounds like.
More, 23 million acres
That's not,
in
that's
4 states.
with 4 states, right? You say?
In 4 states, but yeah, you look at it, I mean, there's just 9,000 acres here, 10,000 there, you know. And to me, it looks like what was burned off. Like, I don't know. That's just,
Maybe we could get Chantel to send us a map and stuff, and maybe she could get on for a few minutes just to explain a little bit.
exactly,
Update us and then we-
the map, especially, because I don't know how to get, you might get on here. I don't know.
Do you want Billy to try to get a hold of her and set it up for next week?
Yeah.
Yep, I can do that. Thank you.
Yeah, I think we better find out.
Yeah.
Because otherwise they sneak this in and then it's like what happened out here before, and then by the time it's hit, and then it was too late to even, we sent letters and that, but we talked to Danes and them about it too. We shouldn't maybe let Danes' gal,
She'll be here next week.
Who?
what's Danes' gal, the one that comes and gives us
Oh,
up.
she's not there no more.
There's a new one. She'll be here next week though.
Okay.
Oh, good.
I was wondering, I left her a message and that, and I never heard back, so I was, I didn't know.
She's a Republican.
She will be here.
Okay, so maybe we can put that on close to the same time, and then we can give her heads up we need to know. Is that all right with you guys? Yeah,
I'll send her some questions about it and let her know. who
yeah,
we're
we get them all lined up, and then maybe Testers they could, zoom in too. So. Alrighty, any other public comment? Being none, we'll go ahead. Road Supervisor Paul Alt is here. Go ahead, Paul.
We're just getting rid of snow drifts and cutting ice. That's pretty much
She
it.
gets a new truck.
Yeah, got it in the truck, getting it put together. Got a few lights. And, so that's good. They actually delivered it to us. Yeah, he called me up and, I was going to pick it up and he said, well, they're coming down here snowmobiling, so they brought it down. That worked out great.
Cool.
I do have a list of things put together, a few things for this grant that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Remember we talked about last week, Blanche, on if we can get that money and that, and they wanted to kind of know about where to put culverts and gravel and see if we could chip seal and stuff.
Yeah, that'd be, one question is, can we use that money for any chip sealing? I have no idea, but that's a thought.
So another thing I was thinking, because Linda Fox suggested that we actually need to get our roads surveyed.
Get what?
That get the roads resurveyed, the county roads resurveyed, and have them set in stone instead of this, what we're having happen to us with Brown's Gulch.
That's a good idea.
Would that be something considered
I
as
don't know if that would go
infrastructure?
into infrastructure, but I don't think we got it.
I'm not certain. I have a meeting set up this week. I talked to Craig Erickson. He's the grants administrator for Great West Engineering. They have 4 grant writers on staff, and since they're who we contract with is the county, I'm gonna sit down with him and Jeremiah on Friday, and Paul's gonna come in, and we all have copies of this huge bill that we've kind of been flipping through, and we're gonna kind of talk through what would be best to apply for the county.
You're gonna be there?
So one thing, if I may mention that our former county surveyor, which we don't have one, it's now with the clerk and recorder's office, and we contract with Hans Bornson. But Bill Bear did the research on the county map, what are the county roads, and since Linda came with us and she does research too, and she's made little different changes by her research, what's a county road and what's not a county road. And this is just something that she suggested, if we really should survey those roads out and get them set in stone. And
Yeah,
I
even if
think-
it's a couple of years or something like that.
yeah, but if it was something, that's what she said, just
Yeah.
do the iffy ones but if it was something that would be considered as infrastructure, then we
Be the
could,
time to do it.
yeah,
Well, the main thing is, yeah, when it comes Thursday, then we'll see what we can actually
Yeah.
go for, and
Yeah.
what we can use the money
Yeah.
on, but.
I mean, that's just a thought I was thinking that,
Oh, hell
because it
yeah.
would get expensive.
So what do you have?
I have a few things on it for culverts. We need to put, one at Stumptown, Basin Gulch needs one, New Chicago needs one. We gotta put some down by the rodeo grounds in Drummond. We got 3 to put up at Bear Gulch. That's just, and there's gonna be more, you know, as we go.
Okay, so now one question on that, is that replacing with bigger culverts? Because isn't that what the grant is
Yes,
you can replace with bigger culverts, but you
It is.
can't just put culverts in,
And it's all replacement.
okay, with bigger
And all bigger
culverts,
culverts.
okay.
get the right size
Yeah.
in instead of having
Yeah.
them small ones.
Which is, that grant is under what?
That is,
It's all part of this infrastructure thing that we're gonna go, me and Great West and Paul are all gonna go through and figure out what we should be applying for. and
Just my idea
Jeremiah.
is, I think we ought to have big projects, and then we can go down to
Yeah.
little projects, and, you know, because we don't want.
No, I think so
You know,
too.
if they're gonna throw something out there,
Right.
put out a little.
yeah, we want it, yes.
So,
Especially like on the chip sealing, you know, that costs so much, you know, if we can finish up what we've done, you know, that's big projects, because then we gotta get.
There's a lot of things a guy can do, but what will they allow? Because
Yeah, absolutely, that's what,
Once
yeah,
we figure that out, then.
Yeah.
I just got a few things that need to be done.
Here's what I was thinking, the way you promote the snow fence and the gravel pit, and if we're gonna do that, that it's access to wilderness and recreation. And that,
True.
you know,
Well, yeah, we can figure this out, and I definitely want to put it back on the agenda for next week and stay on top of this, because then we'll know better when these guys go through it, and then Great West can keep us updated, but I think we need to have it on every week so we can get it in right, because when's it supposed to be in, March?
They're all different times
Okay.
based on which grants they are. They all start, I think, in the first quarter of 2022, and they go through the next 2 years.
I think this one was first quarter of 2020.
Yeah,
That's what I
yeah, they're all broken up into, there's lots.
Yeah, we gotta get on it.
And that's why I make sure we'll just have a set time every week, so we can keep updated and get ahold of Jeremiah and their grant writer. You guys good with that? Okay.
Well, what else you got? Cause I got Stony Creek Bridge and
Stony Creek.
gravel pit and snow fence and.
Got,
First
Stony Creek Bridge, got Middle Fork Bridge, and then right down where Sheetemeyer's are. You know, that, they have an old culvert that goes underneath the road that they used to take horses through, and that needs to be, it's going straight to
Yeah,
hell.
what?
It's a culvert under the road, a livestock culvert, right where that little cabin is. You wouldn't know it was there. But anyway, we put a patch on it here a couple of years ago, and something's gonna have to get done with that, whether we rip it out, whether we put a bridge in. but I mean, that's a big project too. And then multiple cattle guards,
Well, the,
two up Middle Fork, two up Harvey Creek. Bert Weaver Road's got two, Dunkelberg's got one, and Princeton has one, just a few, you know. But
The Middle Fork Bridge is needing like repairs, or is that a big project?
it needs to be repaired,
and then what about, oh, that,
right where you get off the highway, Middle Fork.
Oh,
Well, I mean, it has to at least get new steel runners and stuff.
yeah, I can see that.
and that's the same as Stony Creek, because we applied for that and that RAP money, right? Is that-
Two different bridges.
I guess, that should be coming up again too, right? We definitely want to try to go for it again.
Well, if we could crush that gravel out there on Middle Fork and then fix them roads out there, like you said, they both lead to the wilderness, you know. They seem to like to give grants for that stuff. I don't know. I guess we'll see what they say.
Well, also Stony, I mean, the Blue Ribbon Trout Stream, access from Missoula to the Stony Creek Bridge, I mean, that's kind
We'll
of,
definitely make sure, yeah, and give that stuff to Billy, and she's got it on record, but then if you think of any more, or write them down, or if you guys think of any. Is there any comment on that?
I wonder also if RAC got money from the infrastructure bill.
I don't know.
They might have got some money.
Do you want to introduce yourself for the Zoom audience?
Whoops, I'm
Blaine
sorry.
Bradshaw, county attorney.
Sorry about that, Blaine.
I was talking earlier about.
I know, I think the Forest Service got that RAP grant, but they went after.
Well,
Or,
they have the final say on
Oh,
it. So
that's
if the
right.
money's there, they're gonna have the final say on it. And it's an advisory committee, but generally they go with the advisory committee, but the
We haven't got
board
it,
supervisor has final say.
we haven't got it the last couple of
I
years.
don't think we had a plan on the rack, I think we had a track.
Well, yeah, but I was just throwing that in just to make sure if it's coming up, that we stay on top of it.
I think it's really helpful too that they have 3 grant writers on staff and they're getting ready to hire a 4th. With Great West too, I mean, I think that's a nice edge too.
You have anything else?
That's about it.
Like these people are for the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's the sand holding up?
Still holding. We'll get through.
So that meeting with Great West, that's not on Zoom, that's on something else?
It's just on Friday, it's just me and Jeremiah and Craig Erickson.
Are they coming over
Google
here?
Meets. No, it's just, they're gonna jump on a Google Meets meeting at DIS. Reset my Google Meet settings, I can't get it to work on my computer, but.
Thursday at 10, right?
I think it's Friday at 10, I don't remember, what did I tell you?
You want it on there?
Yeah, I think it's Friday.
Yeah, I was thinking about getting on, but if it's not on Zoom, I don't know how to get on.
Can you come in
Yeah, it's
though,
Google Meet.
if they're meeting here?
I mean, you can come in and sit in my office, we're gonna be on Google Meet.
Google Meet's easy to download, but
Yeah,
it's a little harder to kind of figure
you
out.
have to like get
on.
in it a minute, yeah, my phone won't let me, cause I
So
don't have,
you're saying,
I'm an iPhone
No,
user.
no, I'm saying I had trouble a couple times getting on the Google Meet.
so then you're saying I can't?
No,
Oh, she told me that I could get on that or else I could just come in.
I'm having a
I
hard
got
time
the same
getting Google Meets, 'cause I'm an Apple user.
That's what I asked you, just come
So what
in.
day is it?
It's on my calendar downstairs
Oh,
on my
okay.
iPhone, so
It doesn't matter, I'll look.
I'm pretty sure it's Friday.
It's still where they send out the link or whatever, and I couldn't find the link. Or they, I don't know, drive the email.
So it's at 10 o'clock on Friday?
I'm pretty sure. I don't have it on my calendar, but I'll figure it out.
I thought you said sent something on Thursday.
That's what I thought.
It's written on my calendar downstairs. It's not on my stuff up here.
Well, I'd like to say
In my office.
Thursday at 10. I'm sticking with that.
It's on my
Proven
stuff downstairs.
otherwise.
It's on my stuff downstairs, not up here.
Well, for sure at 10.
It's for sure at 10.
Just show up every day.
So, yeah, so
Yeah, just show up every day.
you won't miss it.
Sure, I'll make you a cup of coffee. We have a comment from Elena.
Go ahead, Elena.
Good, we'll make sure the speakers work.
Thank you. For the record, it's Elena Gagliano. There's an echo. Okay,
Echo, there's an echo.
there's an echo. Anyway, I assume that meeting on Friday should be open for the public. And if it is, could you put the link in the chat? So if anybody does want to attend, they can.
It's not really a meeting open to the public, it's just a meeting from me, from my office, it's not necessarily.
If there's only one commissioner
meeting.
there, I don't think that's.
Well, it doesn't matter, if it's a meeting open to the public, it's open to the public. I'm just saying, if you put any information, it would be nice to put it into the chat if it was abled. That's what it's there for. But if it's not a public meeting, I guess we don't have an option to be there, but just a suggestion that you have the chat open so people can put in links and stuff
Okay.
like you did the other day. Thank you.
No, thank you.
Let me say something.
Yep.
Elena, this would not be a public meeting. This is a meeting with our administrative assistant to further our knowledge in what we can use for the grants that are available to the counties. And it's with Jeremiah, who is with Great West Engineering,
Thank you.
just to clarify it.
Oh, she has another comment.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Lena Gagliano. Again, I don't know who's controlling the mute button now, but thank you, Blanche, for your comment. I appreciate that, but my comment was that the chat be opened up for any links that are discussed during the meeting. Thank you. Now you can mute me.
Okay. We will, thank you. We can mute her, she said.
Does that mean like you're saving the meeting and then later on share? I don't sure what.
Like if people have links that they want to share and they ask to share them, I'll open the chat like I did last week for them to share links. But if they don't ask me to do that, the person, whoever is speaking, I don't open the chat because typically it's just distracting for the other people.
Potentially, I think the only way to do that would be uploading the documents to the website later on.
Yeah, which we do that.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
We'll go off now another 5 minutes.
So if you have enough chairs in here.
There you go.
Okay. All right, go ahead. Did you have a public comment on? Now they're gone.
Oh, now they're not, I don't know.
No. All right.
Either the case have a comment on the road.
Kay, do you have a comment on the road supervisor weekly report?
Yeah, I just sent them.
We didn't hear anything. Everything was out, so I didn't hear the weekly report from him. It was muted on our side. We could see Miss Blanche McClure, and that was it.
They've been on a break the last maybe like 2 minutes, so you wouldn't have heard anything for the last 2 minutes. Did you hear anything prior to that?
Did you hear anything? I stepped out and come back again and it was blank.
About the last 3 or 4 minutes, it's been dead. It just came back on.
Yeah,
We just turned
Okay.
it on because we went off because we had a bunch of people are starting to come in, and so we went off until the 9:35. We did, I asked if there was any public comment and I didn't see.
Oh.
I missed your hand, sorry. I'm new at this.
Yeah. Well, no, since I didn't get to hear it, I guess I can't comment right now, but our time is for 11:15 and that's when that was supposed to be discussed. I didn't understand that it would be discussed also during the road and bridge report. I missed that.
We didn't discuss nothing on Browns Gulch on the road report. We was waiting till 11:15.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yep, thank
All
you.
right, thank you, sir.
Okay, we'll go ahead with the 9:35. Ron,
Cruise mark.
sorry.
Shall I stand or is it okay if I
You can stand up, use the mic and introduce yourself. If anybody talks or we have public comment, you gotta make sure and introduce yourselves.
You can just pull that right off there. Oh, there you go.
Good morning, board. My name is Ron Cruzmark. I'm an officer or representative of a company, Transatlantic Mining Corp. It's a Canadian company. It's a publicly traded company. I've worked for them for about 7 years now. We, within the last year, have purchased a private patented piece of land up the North Fork Flint Creek. It also has, I think about, 200 or 300 acres of untapped land around it. I think everybody here, first of all, we come in peace. We're not trying to, change the world or anything here. I'll tell you what our plans are. First of all, we have an operating plan with Forest Service and the Montana Department of DEQ right now that,
Can you come up closer? I guess. I
Yeah,
can't
to
hear
this,
you.
Okay.
use that one and this one too.
we have a plan of operations for a drill program right now on the land that we started this year because of the road closure, or that's not really a closure, the restrictions on the road and how late we got started. We wanted to get 4 holes drilled on it this season. We ended up getting 1 hole drilled on it. And our plans are is to next year go ahead and start up again. The plan of operations allows us to, it doesn't envision the access up to it, but allows year-round operations to get the drilling completed. In tandem to that, we see going into a small operations mode up there within the next 2 or 3 years. In a small mines setting. Right now, we're actively going through to get our permit for discharging into Flint Creek. We're hoping that'll be wrapped up sometime August or September of 2022. If not, could be into 2023. So sometime in the next 2 or 3 years, we know what we have up there already. There's a vein there, there's gold in it. It's of marginal value that it can be mined, it can be shipped, it can be processed. This is something that once we get going could be, more than likely like 40 to 60 jobs to the local area. Between whether or not it goes to the mill here or it goes to a mill, in Whitehall or in Virginia City or Raidersburg. Certainly it would be 30 or 40 jobs coming in and out to take care of the facility up there and do mining. Right now, the road is closed from December 15th to, I thought it had been changed to June 15th, but what I did read was April 15th. So that's 5 months out of our season. We don't want to make any impact on the snowmobile club, or we don't want to make negative impact on the locals in the area, the people living up there, the businesses that thrive off of the snowmobiling, people that enjoy the recreation in the area. So I guess my purpose in being here today is, first of all, to introduce ourselves. I'll carry on a little bit about myself. I was born in Livingston. I grew up in Bozeman, Ennis. I graduated from Butte. I'm a mining engineer. We have Transatlantic has properties. We're selling 2 properties right now in Virginia City that we acquired and now sold. We've got one over by Helena called Confederate Gulch. We've got 3,500 acres above Saltese that are both patented and unpatented ground, and now we have this. Of all the properties that we have, this is the one that interests us the most because we can see what's there. I think maybe it's been overlooked a little bit. But it's in an interesting spot because it's right on the creek, and it's right. There's a lot of interest in the area. So I guess the primary reason I came here today was to introduce myself and to try to get all the combined interest in the areas to tell us what we could do to gain full-time year-long access up there. There's always going to be trouble with like heavy trucks through breakup and stuff like that. I've talked to the last 2 companies that were up there that made some provisions with the Snowmobile Club in the past. The last one, I guess what he told me is that they left 3 inches of snow on the road all the way up there. I've spoken with some of the members of the Snowmobile Club. They told me their concerns, and they seem like valid concerns, and they seem like they'd be the same concerns that the people that live upstream from us would have. Is if all of a sudden it gets warm and the snow goes away, then how do you access? If we're only leaving 3 inches of snow, and like right now today, 2 weeks of that, and traffic over, if we're driving vehicles over it, that snow is not going to last very long. Another gentleman I talked to, I think was here before Gunslinger, or was working for Gunslinger. He had told me that they come up with a plan where they actually just maintain half of the road. So I mean, it's a full. These are the things that I can think of. It's the 3 things that well, there's 4. One is, we don't have access up there for 4 months out of the year, which is going to restrict our ability to make a profitable operation. Because there's a lot of capital involved in having that stuff sit there for 4 months doesn't help us, get going and provide opportunity for ourselves and the community. Another one is we just leave 3 inches, 4 inches, 6 inches of snow on the road. We maintain, we groom the road up to our property. We manage the risk and try to do our best to be sure that there's always snowmobile access and safe, reliable access to people that are above us. The third would be we just take half the road and we leave the other half of the road just for the snowmobile club up to our point. Point of access, and I think that sounds, to me that sounds very viable because it's a pretty large road. Plus it's got, I'm sure there's right of way on both sides. And the fourth is I guess it's been and put an alternate parking facility up closer to our land so that if the road does melt, and there's probably pluses for that. A lot of people do because that lower road melts earlier in the year, and there's probably still recreational snowmobile potential up there in April or May when the lower roads are already gone. So those are the 4 things that that we've looked at, and we just wanted to open it up for discussion. And I certainly didn't expect any resolution out of this today, just to bring it up.
Is there any comments?
Nick Roach, Namcon Snowmobile Club. Me and Ron have spoke about this, how we could kind of compromise. And there are all these options, the plowing the 3 inches and trying to maintain snow. It's not feasible all year round, or not long enough for us to keep sleds up there, especially the landowners up there that are living and traveling daily. I mean, their livelihood for one. I mean, if they can't get to their homes, they can't park a vehicle up there, they can't ride snowmobiles through dirt. You leave 3 inches on that thing all year, it'd be gone right now, I guarantee it. It just disappeared, especially with, like he said, road travel. So that I just don't see being an option that would work for us. And I think that road's just gonna get deteriorated too once the mud, they're traveling heavy trucks. And the fact that the safety of snowmobiles going against mine traffic and pick up small truck traffic. I mean, I do think he's on some best option being another parking lot up the top. I don't know if that's possible. Kind of spoke with the Forest Service today, just for a quick moment about it. If we could do it in a separate parking lot, but it would have to be pretty substantial parking lot. I mean, that parking lot we have down there right now is full. December, January, it's full. Half the time there's trucks out all the way to the opposite paving, there'll be 50 trucks in there some weekends. It's just a lot of people, so it would have to be pretty substantial parking lot to do. The option he spoke of, splitting the road. I mean, one of the companies before tried that with us, and as that snow gets deep, their road's getting wider, and we lost everything. Where it was only snowmobile width, we couldn't groom it. Well, that was so rough, snowmobiles didn't want to drive on it because it's mobiles that are 2 feet tall. I mean, it is a wide road, but when you got 20, 30 foot of road top, and you're trying to plow out 6 feet of snow, maybe, I'm sure there's like 5 feet there now, I guess. You're blowing out another 4 or 6 feet each way. It'd be really tough to maintain that and keep wide enough. I mean, that groomer's 10 feet wide, so to be able to maintain it for the snowmobiles travel on the side of it, it'd be tough. I mean, we could widen it out even more going up it. I mean, I know that's a lot of work, and there's stream bank on one side most of the way up. So that's tough. The other option, there's an old trail that zigzags that road all the way up. It was used at one point, one season when they were mining up there. It's grown in and kind of deteriorated a lot, but I didn't really think of this, and Forest Service, Will Travis brought up me, is a huge safety concern because it crosses the road like 4 or 5 times. And that'd be snowmobilers coming up and crossing a Minot road, that's a bit scary. Some of them banks you're coming up and onto a flat road you can't really see. And I mean, we've got signage, but it puts a safety concern out there for me and probably any snowmobilers. But I mean, I totally want to work together on this, try to come up with a solution that's good for everyone. Just some of the concerns, aren't quite feasible. But yeah, I'm up for anything. I'd say building a parking lot might be the best. We just had this same problem here less than 6 months ago. The landowner wanted to, but it's also going to open up can of worms too. Build new parking lot for us up there. Who's say the guy down here, Maxwell, well, we want a parking lot here so we can plow back. It also opens up a lot more for you guys too.
A lot of it's gonna be due to the weather, isn't it? Because it's the way it's sounding, just on how much snow we're gonna have or split the road.
We can't predict Mother Nature. What's gonna do. And this is pretty odd February, it seems like to me. I don't remember it being 50 degrees in February very often. And it's melting fast. But here in 2 weeks, we could have 2 foot dumps, Just can't predict Mother Nature. And
sounds like everybody's trying to work together. We just gotta try to figure out a good solution and.
Yeah, we just come up with,
Everybody get
build
along
a
if they can
separate
work
trail. The side that doesn't cross as often, be on Forest Service property a lot. I thought there was a lot more private. I spoke wrong. There's not nearly as many private land going up that road as I originally thought. I thought there was about 6 or 7, and I'm looking at maybe 2 or 3 landowners you'd have to pass through theirs to be on the side of the road, so we're not crisscrossing as often. And again, that's a lot of money to build a whole new road too. So that's my thoughts. Thank you guys.
Thanks.
Were you able to talk to Kevin Razor at all?
No, but he's
Okay.
here on behalf
Hello.
of Hanson Board right now.
Okay, all right.
I can speak up.
Howdy, Josh Lyden here, Miller Ranger District, working in the Recreation Wilderness Trail Shop. But yeah, I just echo these guys' sentiments and the amount of use that's going on. I I mean, every weekend it's plumb full of trailers and people headed up the hill. And that's a huge, obviously, economic driver for this area. And that's probably the most popular snowmobile area that we have around here. I know that you've just recently entertained a similar proposal in the past because of the homeowners going on up there. I think there does need to be a solution here somewhere. I hear what you're saying about the parking area further up there. I guess my only caution is be that it could be a longer timescale to get that through, because that's gonna have to go through environmental assessment. We don't have a category through our NEPA process for building a trailhead quickly. You know, and in that area now it's occupied lynx habitat, which I'm sure you're dealing with some of this now with your permitting. It's not saying it's not a possibility, but it's not gonna happen tomorrow. Something to be down the road, we just have to fit into our schedule of things that we need to get done on a forest wide. I like the idea hearing you say 30, 40 new jobs to the economy. That's huge. You know, I think we just need to balance that with the existing jobs that are created with the trail system up there. Another caution I have that isn't necessarily with the snowmobile club, but just that road in general in the wintertime with traffic going up to the ski hill, it's already pretty crowded. You know, you're seeing a lot of people driving off the ditch, getting stuck. If we're starting to put a lot of heavy truck traffic in there, hauling ore in the wintertime too, I can see that being a long-term issue and impacting that operation as well. That is the winter recreation hub for this area up there right now. And that's a pretty big driver, pretty important, something that we want to try and support and move forward. You know, the Discovery's a permit that operates on the Forest Service. The practicalities of trying to leave the snow on the road 2-3 inches. I moved down here from Lincoln a while ago. We tried similar things and, you know, predictably didn't work out just because you can't keep that snow on the road. It warms up and it's gone. And you put truck traffic on it and then a few hot rod sleds and it's pretty soon just rock and dirt. The one lane, maybe something we could look at, but might take some road widening to try and keep one lane open. But any of that's going to take NEPA. You know, it's going to take time for the Forest Service to process any sort of application. So that'd be my main caution. I don't know when you'd be looking at trying to actually get things done, but you have to build that into your schedule. That's what we're here. Right. Yeah.
So I have a question is, so I was under the understanding that road was a county road all the way.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, so this would just be more, we're supporting the club, you know, and trying to provide recreation on the forest.
Yeah, so as far as any work on the county and in the right of way, that would not require any.
No, it'd be more the parking area. I mean, if you're looking within the right of way and just making it wider, I guess I don't know the firm answer to that. But yeah, if it's on Forest Service now, we have to be involved.
Blaine had a question, like if you could store it and then haul it out in the summer, you know?
Yeah, well, certainly, you know, that, I think that's,
Something
we
to
can
think
store a
about.
lot of it during, you know, we have a small footprint up there, as far as a patented footprint. We could probably store a couple months at a time, through the winter. Maybe it might be a point where maybe we're you know, narrowing, instead of having 5 months that we can't operate up there, or at least access the operation, maybe more like 3 months. But the traffic, we could restrict it, you know, dark hours, you know, or hours that aren't so heavily used by the snowmobile club. As far as how much, you know, like on a daily basis, I can't see more than, you know, we really get going up there, you know, full capacity with resources received. We're talking about maybe 10 sunrise a day and at night. And the rest of it's just small vehicle traffic. I mean, this is not a large open pit. This is 10 or 12 guys a shift.
Well, it seems like there's a lot of options. I guess we just need to figure out what will work and how, just so everybody can, you know, manage it and keep recreation, and then they can mine too, you know, and need the economy and what's needed. Recreation's big, I know that.
You know, back in the day, we used to haul logs at night, you know, and in March and even February, you know, if it was gonna be warm during the day, we just haul at night. Never touch the road.
Yeah. I think there's just a lot of options, and just we just have to figure out what can work.
Yeah, I think part of that too, if we talk about a parking area or something like that, is the duration of the operation. You know, it's gonna have to factor into it. Are we talking about, 20 years with this mine operating? Are we talking about 5 years that it's happening? And we want to have that impact, build a whole new parking lot for 5 years.
My name's Terry Montgomery. I was here for the last meeting. And I'm here today representing the people on top, I guess is the best way to put it. You've got Brandon, Melrose, now Greg, Matt, and they're living up there year round. I'm just finishing a cabin, and there's times in the winter time where I plan on spending months or two up there maybe. And the concern that we have, we work with Snowmobile Club and everybody else. We've got a little different scenario. There's a snowmobilers, they ride up on our snowmobiles and come back down. The miners take their vehicles up and come back down. But the people that are living up there full time, they're concerned about possible medical emergency situations where they got to get out of there. And when they leave up there, we come down with snowmobiles so far, as the snow is, and then you have a vehicle waiting for you. They park vehicles up there right now at the bottom of the snow, so to speak. And so our concern is that whatever the solution is, there's still a place that the people that live up above can park a vehicle down below at the level where you can start the snow, so they can make that transfer in case we're trying to get out of there on a medical emergency. And we mentioned this last time to the county because it ties in with the county's responsibility for medical emergency vehicles and things for residents that are full time. So that's just an added thought that kind of backs up the idea of having a parking lot. So there's 40 rigs for those guys or 3 rigs for the guys who live up on top. Just wanted to bring that up. Thank you.
Any other comments?
We have Trista Jones on Zoom.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jones. Trista, go ahead.
Just sent her a meet request. Give her a minute.
Can you hear us?
Let me send her another unmute request.
Maybe let her know to unmute now.
Oh, she's unmuted. Or she's still not unmuted.
Can you hear us, Krista? Does anybody in here know Trista Jones?
All right.
She was at the last meeting here.
Huh?
She was at the last meeting here.
She's still not
She's
unmuted.
right here on that one, I believe she's a landowner about midway up on the right-hand side of the road, I believe.
And then, now there's a window. Can you open them up?
Another
Yes,
landowner up there.
let me go ahead and send him unmute request.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Wendell Smith. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
So Trista, she's trying to talk to you, but she's not getting through. I think she's using her iPhone, Trista's iPhone down there. But I know one concern she has is if they plow the road, you got a big berm, 6 foot, 10-foot berm, whatever it is, and she can't get into her cabin with their snowmobile. Can't get up over the icy berm without shoveling it for like an hour to make a path. And that goes the same with our cabin, which is about 4 miles up. If it's plowed, it's going to be really hard to tow a sled behind the snowmobile up and over a 10-foot berm.
Okay. Did you guys hear that?
Valuable concern, that. Yeah.
So they'd have to follow access points, I think these two, those places.
Like everywhere else.
We'd have to maintain those only.
Any other comments?
If you can unmute Trista's iPhone, she's probably got some more comments.
Okay, let me send her
She-
another request.
We haven't had no other requests but Tricia, and we tried to open that up, but she didn't
Oh,
answer.
she's unmuted now.
She's unmuted.
Sorry, I've been
Go
with my
ahead.
new computer. So yes, Trista Jones, landowner below the mine. And that was, we've had I've been there for several years, and they always plow us in to where we can't have access to our cabin during the winter. And that's a big concern for us because I use it year round, not permanently year round, but I access it winter and summer. And then when I can't access it because I have icy berms to plow or try to dig through, it makes it painful. So if we go down to one lane, what side of the road are we going to go on? To have access for everyone. But that's it.
Okay, thank you. Well, it's 10 o'clock. I guess we still got a bunch of discussion to do on it. I guess everybody's gonna stay in touch and see what we can do to make it work. Seems like everybody's talking already, so open the doors for everything. Dan, you got any comments on this?
Ron, the idea of storage for storage of ore, is that more of a concern market driven, or is that space that you have to store it?
Yeah, well, it would be space, I think. Our plan is, so we've got 5 acres. Our plan is to operate underneath the small miners exclusion up there, which limits us to 5 acres of total disturbance. You can store a lot, I mean, I can keep a lot on 5 acres. And that's about disturbing this up there right now. So, but, I mean, couple weeks at 200 tons a day. Might be pushing that. Right?
So is it a possibility, the Forest Service is trying to work with these guys, is it a possibility to have a broader storage area to get them through maybe the 2 months window that we're talking about?
That'd be a lot less impact than building a new trailhead up there.
You know what I mean?
I'm not sure when it comes to the ins and outs of the small miners exclusion law, that would, exclude them from that. But
well, we could go, so the step, we haven't started a full peel, something that would activate a NEPA. But we could do that while we operate it.
Could you use the mic? People on Zoom are going to be able to hear.
Yeah, we haven't started a NEPA as far as expanding our footprint up there beyond 5 acres. It's something we probably will do going forward. I mean, and first of all, I see this next year, this next winter, even though we anticipate having our discharge permit by, late summer, early fall, sometimes these things get pushed. I see the next season being drilling again. We've got at least 20 holes up there we want to drill. Probably get those done in the summertime. Maybe this won't be a big issue for next winter. I really just want to open up these channels of communication and hear, concerns like I just heard from, like the lady down below us, their driveways plowed in. I just think there's probably a way that, we can work this all out, or maybe it's better for everybody. It sounds like a trailhead, one of them, but I understand that's an 18-month process probably, and someone has to, is that something Forest Service would undertake, or is that?
There's options. Yeah, we can undertake it. That's come on our schedule though. We've already got a busy schedule with logging and everything's going on, so we have to get in line essentially. Otherwise, you can contract out that NEPA and have that done by a third party and get it done that way. But trailheads, unfortunately, aren't quick compared to like building new trailers. You have to go through a full environmental assessment. And it may be worth, if we go through that, to look at options in that process. One being the trailhead, maybe 2 being storage of ore, if that's something that could work on Forest Service property. And maybe a third one comes out there somewhere.
I think we just all need to stick together because it seems like it's gonna be next year or whatever, but at least we got the doors open now and everybody stay in touch with us and let's see what we can do to make this work. We have to move on and I thank you everybody for this and opening our eyes on it.
And I want to go ahead, for the record, my phone number is 986-224-2066. Okay. If anybody has concerns, they want to call and talk about this, I'm going to try to.
Could you say that again?
986-224-2066. If anybody has concerns or, they want to discuss these things, I'm going to try to keep in contact with the Stoneville Forest Service.
You guys keep us intact too, so we know what's going on, so we don't get blindsided. Thank you.
I
Thank you,
can't
guys.
remember names, what was your name?
Ron Cruzmark.
Ron?
And I'm Ron Whitmer, so.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I guess I'll leave now.
Yeah, couldn't lose them.
See you guys.
See ya.
Thanks.
See ya. Thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, it's, we're moving on to the resolution number 22-5.
Oh, we gotta do the dam.
Huh?
Gotta do the dam.
Brandon.
Oh, geez, I missed them again. What did I do with that? Okay, just,
How big a problem would it be to do an EA for a 1 acre or 2 acre?
come with the excuses right away that,
Just do it, right?
oh, on that last one, this was, I got it mixed up in my papers. There was a letter here from Cameron Razor for the last one. There's a mixed up road jurisdiction. Check the map in the commissioner's office. He has wrote down here.
It's on the back of there too. There's a map you put together and just some
So
comments. that you
the
have
red
in
and
there.
green, what, is the red the county and the green Forest Service?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask.
His point was more just, he thinks there, if maintenance is allowed, it should be during the summer season, which is what he was thinking, but I guess if they can come up with another solution and bring it to us.
I had it mixed up in mine. Sorry about
Sorry.
that. No, I moved everything, but,
And I think, who was the Forest Service rep? I mean, he was able. to-
Yeah. I stamped it in. So, all right, well, we're on to Brandon and then this Georgetown Lake.
We are.
It's at 6428.02, 17.76 inches. Any comments on that or motion or?
Okay, so as long as we're talking about the dam situation, no. I just want to say that Billy and I attended last night's Flint Creek Dam Advisory Committee meeting. And it was a very positive meeting. And current level was discussed and the inflows discussed and outflows and the forecast and reading Todd's lake update from February 7th, that it's very positive, and it was a very positive meeting. I would say that if there's any irrigators out there, that would kind of even it up a little more, because it's lake owners and Forest Service, and but the Forest Service wasn't there last night, but are they part of the advisory board?
I don't know if there's any members of the Forest Service. There's Fish, Wildlife.
Fish,
Park,
Wildlife, and Parks was there.
And Hydrodynamics goes.
And Todd felt very positive, well, with this report, it's, and then this projection on the other side is he's projecting that we should get our flow up and it should be okay. So that was what the meeting entailed last night.
Yeah, he talked about how there's predicting of cooler than normal weather and higher precipitation here over the next couple of months, right?
Yeah.
Well, they keep saying that.
Yeah, we just keep our fingers crossed, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think we just have to pray Mother Nature helps us again and just keep going the way we are. And
You know, move to it.
Okay, I second the motion.
any public comment, Elena, on the motion?
Not on the motion. I want to comment on the meeting last night. So I guess I'll have to wait.
Okay, we're gonna finish the motion then. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried, leaving it as is. Go ahead, Elena, what you want to say on the meeting?
Thank you, Blanche, for the report. I was just wondering where on the website is that information kept? It's a committee. I can't find them. The agendas and the minutes, when do they meet? Is it monthly? Where are the minutes from their meetings, all that information?
It's under newsletter and then it's under advisory committees and.
Could you put the link up so I can see it? Because I can't find it. It shouldn't be under newsletter. Newsletter is not the commissioners, the committees. I'm sorry, just put the link up so we can find it, where all their agendas, past agendas, and minutes would be up, so we can find them. If you don't mind putting the link up, thank you.
Great, thank you. Okay. That's the only comment they had. We'll go ahead on to 10:05, the resolution number 2022-5, resolution authorizing participation in intercap loan program for conciliation loan. Second reading and adoption.
Don't need to update them.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
the latest like payoff information didn't get to them, so they're gonna redo the documents. I would just say table it and we'll have it ready for I think they'll have it ready for the
March 8th and 15th.
March 8th and 15th. And
We
so,
send it over.
Okay.
there's no rush on
Right.
if you want to get it done,
Yes.
but a month isn't gonna.
Okay.
Okay. It's all right. Any comment on that? No comment. We'll move on to. Oh, we got 5 minutes. Never mind.
This is second reading?
So it's gonna, everything's gonna be revised so they can get the final payoff amounts. So
So do we move to table
just move
this?
it. Yeah, I would encourage you to move the table and then be done March 8th and 15th. They'll have the final document.
Yeah, I'll move the table it until
March 8th.
March 8th.
I'll second that.
Any public comment? Being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried, pass. Job.
You wanna stay on or?
I redid the attorney opinion letter. We'll get that down.
Okay.
Sounds like they have good ideas though, to try to make it work. It seems like everybody's getting along good on Red Line Road.
Yeah.
They always seem to make it work. I know there's a lot of, the weather's got so much to do with it too.
That split idea just didn't seem like it maybe works in theory, but not practically speaking.
Yeah,
We're still on. I
I
decided.
think it's foreign, we tried that with log deck. And then all of a sudden Marco will go one way or the other, and they'll say, we have to get this out of here now.
And you got big ones.
And they'll be hauling down the county road. There we go. And so that's
Yeah.
that problem.
Yeah.
But as far as that night hauling, we haul a heck of a lot, but it takes overseeing, you know, you just don't say, oh yeah, haul at night. I mean, one person has to be in charge, and they look at the weather, and we haul through April, a lot of times, and never touch it.
Yeah, I think they've got a lot of options. I think they just gotta work together and see how big or how much mining they're really gonna do it, you
But
know?
if you had haul then that would eliminate the problem with the skiers on the road down below.
Cause aren't they done by 5?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll close at 4. Right?
4?
Yeah, I feel like people are still coming off,
Yeah.
the whip stop at 4.
Yeah.
People
You're
are
right.
coming out of there around 5.
But I mean, there's options there too that they can, you know.
But you're still talking about a split road though, right? On that.
Split road?
If they're gonna be able to come out of there night of February, you still got part of the road paved or plowed, part of the.
No, I wouldn't do that.
How would you do it though at night then?
I just plow the road and leave as best you can, you leave the ice on it or the snow, those big old dirt ice. And then you haul on that frozen ice. And it don't take much to freeze. What's the ice? If you got that much ice, it don't take much to freeze it. You know, even if it's warm during the day, you know, it takes 2 hours.
Yeah.
You know,
Like I said,
And then it'll set right back up and you haul. We hauled up on Upper Roll with Lewis Man. Tons of them.
So what company is this?
Transatlantic.
Is this a done deal?
As far,
As far as the
They
mining?
don't have the final, the permits, the discharge permits for DEQ. So that'd be a condition, yeah. So.
You know, and then as far as the parking lot, why don't you get started on now, if that's what they want to
Yeah.
do? And because they got that discharge permit, they can take forever. And you can probably have it all done for a 2 acre or whatever.
Yeah.
Parking lot, I mean.
okay, well, we'll go on to 10:15, Joy Lucero, to discuss the potential of having a full-time school resource office.
How's it going?
Come on
You can
here.
Come on up here.
Okay, yeah.
There you go.
No, thanks.
So I'm making here.
Yeah.
No, you'll be able to hear me, trust me. I don't need a microphone.
Go ahead.
Okay, so my name's Joy Lucero. I have a daughter in the high school. She's in 7th grade. Just a little back, I've been here about 8 years now. I'm a retired Phoenix police officer, so is my husband. He also works some part-time stuff for the sheriff's office. And we are here. This is Nancy Ward. You guys all know her. She doesn't have to introduce herself. Anyway, we are here to discuss, we would like to see a full-time SRO, school resource officer position in the school. We were led to believe there was one, and apparently there is not. I have met with the sheriff. There is technically a deputy that kind of is the SRO, but not really, because he has to pull him off when there's calls or because he said he doesn't have enough manpower. And so I've talked already this year. One was a national, the TikTok, basically saying it, bring guns to school. It was a national thing of violence in the schools. Thankfully, it didn't happen here. But we just had an incident a couple of weeks ago where there was threats of high school students bringing guns to school, and the sheriff's office wasn't even notified, and the deputy wasn't notified. So they didn't even know about this threat. And obviously as a parent, that's concerning. So I think we're big enough, we're growing, the sheriff said his calls for service have gone up. I think there's definitely a need for another sheriff's deputy position, which would then free up the deputy to be in the school more. We have developers coming in. If they build all these houses, we're gonna even have a bigger growth. But it's not, everyone has this mentality of we're a small town, nothing bad happens here. Well, that's not true, because bad things can happen in small towns. And even bigger, our kids have more access to guns, which we hunt, my family hunts, my daughter, but it's just to say there are guns, in households, so they have easier access if they wanted to go to the school and do something. And I just feel that really we need that presence. Their research shows, and I was an SRO for a short time, if there is a officer on campus, kids will go to them and tell them when they're hearing about things. If they're hearing about threats, if they're hearing about someone that wants to do something, they will go to that officer and tell them, hey, this is what we're hearing. And I'd like to think that we want to do a preemptive instead of me sitting here after something bad happens and then going, well, gosh, yeah, we really need an officer there, but already something bad's happened. And the other reality is, unless there's an officer on that school grounds, they're not gonna be able to do anything if something does happen. If they're responding from here, if they're responding from the school parking lot, it'll be over by the time they can get in there and do something.
That's the
So
problem.
honestly, they need to be in the school.
That's a problem with 3 schools though, too.
I know, and
I'm not against this, don't.
Yeah.
But I'm just, these are all the things that we
Right,
gotta look at and then see what the budget is and see if we can afford one. I mean,
right.
money shouldn't mean nothing for somebody getting hurt or something, you know, but you know, you still gotta look into that, see if we can even do it and make it feasible.
So this was talked about quite a while ago, and I remember being at that board meeting. And after that board meeting, it was, to my understanding, that we were gonna get an SOR officer, we were gonna share it with Drummond. And we were gonna have a part-time deputy, and then he was gonna be part-time between Drummond and Peeber. And parents, and I believe even staff, were led to believe that this went down and our school was gonna help pay for it. So then after this incident a couple of weeks ago happened, we decided to come to you, and we did some of our own research, and we called the clerk at the school, and she said that never happened. Long time ago, it never happened, but yet parents and staff are led to believe that there's a presence of an SOR officer, and he was there. I mean, he randomly would show up, and in the past, he was there more often than his presence is now, because the current SOR officer is on night duty.
Yeah, I remember in that meeting, we talked about it and I just remember we said we was gonna see how it worked and then was gonna see if we could afford to have one. I don't think it ever got brought back up.
But the community was never told
Yeah,
otherwise.
the community believes we have this SRO in the schools. I mean, even
Teachers believe it.
teachers believe it. Yeah.
Go ahead,
And
Blaine.
looking at the minutes, so the school said they didn't have the funds for it. And so that would, I mean, if that's an option now for the schools to come up with some funding too.
So
that'd be
if I may comment, this would be the same as the contract we have with Drummond Town and with Phillipsburg Town. It would be a contract between the school district, which is a separate entity, and with the sheriff's office. And the fee would have to be paid from the school to supplement the sheriff. And I did visit with Scott yesterday concerning this, and he has had the school resource officer there. And he says, right at this time, he doesn't have, he has to pull them off if it's there. And he said he visited with you, and you had a nice visit. And so he feels that if he's got a part-time person that he can put there, that he can, and then if he needs to pull them off. And he felt that the need for a full-time would be not necessary in Phillipsburg because the school is small. And we might be growing, but I don't think the school district, the kids, I don't think our, it's increased in attendance with more new kids coming in, that isn't happening. So the only thing that I'm saying is, after talking with Scott, is that he is going to work on this a little more and get someone there. And I think your husband is part-time with him, and maybe, I don't know. It's just
Well,
that
that's
what he
the
was
whole
saying.
debate. He talked about putting him on for 20 hours.
Oh, he didn't say he was gonna put him on. He
Help
just said that,
investigations, which would free up the SRO more, but I don't know if that's something he has to discuss with you guys or not, but he said that was an option. Then that would allow the
Right.
adjacent to be at the schools more if Dave
Right.
was on.
yeah, if he can work
You'd
it,
have
he's
to bring
gonna,
it to us
Right.
back,
Yeah.
see how much, it's back to that damn money deal.
Yeah.
And it's,
Yeah.
but visiting with him, and there was one in there, and I can't remember, I think in the minutes it has his name, do you remember?
Jim Russell.
Jim Russell.
Yes,
But it's,
and
it's
he
Chase
loved going
Monster
to the
is doing
schools,
that.
yeah.
Right.
It's just not in the school full time.
So, I mean, this is just something that, yes, it's good to come up here, but it would be a contract with the school district.
Well, I guess our issue is the school saying they don't have the funds, and I'm pretty gonna guess they're gonna say that again. So our issue was to come to you guys to say, is there any money to then increase the sheriff's budget to allow like the 20-hour whatever position to free up Jason a little more to be in the school? That was kind of our point, because I know the school's gonna say, well, we don't have the money, because that's what they
Right,
said.
and we depend on contracts from Phillipsburg and contracts from Drummond to supplement the sheriff's budget. And we only have so many meals to work on. There isn't any extra money flowing in that, you know, it would be something, maybe the sheriff could look into it and,
There might,
and see.
might be
but-
one of them grants too, you know.
Yeah.
Guy could talk to that, like the vet people and that Joe Gilboy too, because there might be something, because they were talking about the public health nurse and stuff. There's some new stuff coming out. That might be something where a person can get some to help to, because I think we need, way that everything's going, I think we actually need to have one there more.
Well, and with the increase of the drugs floating around town.
Yes.
And if you have the presence of an SOR officer in the building, I think that might
Sorry,
slow
Blaine.
that down in the schools.
But yeah, I definitely think that it's gonna have to be picked up, but we'll just have to try to figure out how and how to make this work. And I think there's options out there. It just, we're opening everybody's eyes right now. If we can just have, even like you guys keep pushing on it, and then we can see what we can start asking around to these other entities. Maybe there's some money there that can help to do this. Go ahead, Blaine, sorry.
I was gonna say there's already agreement with the schools for the SR to be in there, but you're talking more about the financial
Yep,
aspect.
yep.
Yeah.
And we are gonna ask to be, there's a school board meeting tonight on the next agenda to discuss the SRO position, so.
Just,
with them.
and keep us posted on this, and I'll keep, you know, call anytime, and we'll see what Drummond has to say in Hall and see what we can make work on this, because I definitely think it's, like you said, the stuff that's going through on that interstate down below is just outrageous right now.
Well, in the other direction towards Anaconda as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not just saying that, I'm just saying that it's get,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Anaconda has a huge problem right now.
the K9 guys are,
It's mostly meth, but right now there's a lot of fentanyl coming in because it's cheap and the pills, they're easy to distribute. So I'm hearing there's a lot of investigations now going on with fentanyl. Anaconda guys are dealing with a lot of fentanyl, so.
yeah, the K9 guys are just going crazy.
Gummies, I mean, it's just
Yeah.
like, whoa.
Yeah.
It's
So-
definitely something we have to look into and try to make it work so a person, you know, it's scary.
I really think an SOR officer can slow down a lot of the behaviors. It's not just drugs too, it's the vaping and the smoking and, you know, stuff like that.
But no, let's definitely just keep on this, not, you know, and if something, you hear something, just get on the agenda right away, or, you know, or we can, you know, because we need to move on this and see what we can do, and we'll talk to Scott and definitely talk to the Drummond and Hall and even try to get everybody on board. And even if they have to come, get them come up, a representative from the school, each one come in here, sit down, and let's see what we can do. I'll talk to Jackie too. She might know something. I think she's on, but she might be able to help look into some stuff too. There might just be something out there for this, because I know Missoula just did something.
Was
Mhm.
it through a grant?
There's a grant or something. I did hear that, so it's something that we really definitely for kids.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that's it should be the number one priority is the safety of our children.
We don't want nothing. No, holy shit.
When you talked with Scott, did he say that he would try to?
You know, and maybe it's also that, I mean, I know we have a new deputy that is a retired school teacher that wants to be the SRO. So if it's a matter of that, because, you know, it's not for everyone, and then maybe we put him in there because he actually wants to be in the schools. So great, let's put him in. I mean, and Jason likes to work nights, let Jason work nights and put Ed in the school because he wants to do that. And he's a retired teacher.
Yeah, I
It'd be
think
perfect.
there's
So-
really good options, and we just,
Yeah.
let's all stick together and.
Right, yeah, I mean, it's just put people where they want to be. Jason wants to be on nights, great, put Ed in the schools, I mean, and yeah, work it that way. If Dave's willing to go on and do the 20-hour thing to do investigations, because that's what he's good at. I mean, so there's definitely, I think, options if people just kind of use,
Right,
and
We
bring
got-
people around, so, yeah.
We gotta
So,
try
and
to
then, and
protect
with the budget thing, sorry, with the budget thing, he is willing to have someone in there, and it's just that the full-time thing is not real feasible right now unless you could get a contract with the school district, is the thing.
It just seems like it really fizzled out with
Yeah,
it being
so,
important up there, so that's our next step, is to go back.
Right.
And let's get this
yeah,
reestablished.
because he didn't say, but it sounds like that it kind of dropped and
Yeah,
they didn't, nobody was.
Yeah,
No one
nobody
pressured
did.
it, no one
The other
pushed
day
it.
was the first time I
So-
heard about it.
Yeah,
You visiting with him brought it back into,
Yeah.
and getting on the agenda is bringing it back into
Yeah.
play again, so.
yeah,
Okay.
it's just people need to, and what sparked it for me was when you have a threat of students bringing guns in the school and you don't even notify the sheriff's office, and I wasn't notified as a parent, and my kid is in that school. And he says, well, it was high school kids. Hello, my child is in high school. It doesn't, that's a problem for me that no one was notified about this threat. That's a major deal.
And that is communication from the school district to
Absolutely.
the sheriff.
Absolutely.
And
That's,
a whole other-
that's a whole, that's not on you guys, that's between the school and the sheriff.
Did they bring a gun in the building?
Yeah, there was a threat of them bringing guns inside to the school. So yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah.
It's just, just because we're Little Peter doesn't mean that
Right.
it's not
Right.
gonna turn into
Right.
something real.
Yeah,
We don't want that.
Yeah.
right.
I mean,
We
we
don't
gotta protect our kids and teachers and staff. I mean, it's just, I think we really need to move ahead in this. Let's see what our options are. And with 3 schools, each of them could,
Yeah.
they should be able to throw something out for, I mean, it's a safety for their staff too.
Mm-hmm.
So you think if they could help, we could help, everything could make something work. We gotta do something.
And Drummond's probably seeing even more of the drugs because they're right off the 90. I mean, and that's
It's
where they all
terrible.
come. Yeah,
It's terrible.
yeah. So, I mean, definitely for that alone. But we can look into the grant issue if that's a possibility. I don't know. We'll have to get with the school, I guess, to see if,
Do you know Jackie Bolster?
I don't.
I'll talk to her and I'll get your
Okay.
numbers and that. If you give them to Billy before you leave, and
Yeah.
because we're gonna have to move on, but it's
Okay,
definitely,
sure.
and I'll talk to her and she can talk to that Joe Gilboy and just see what's
Yeah.
out there.
Okay.
She's the county PS.
Oh.
There could be something right there for us, so.
Okay.
So just one more, if I may
Yeah,
comment.
go ahead, sorry.
Is the sheriff is now made aware that it's been slept off, so hopefully we're going to, and you made it aware by being on the agenda, so hopefully we'll bring that SRS or
SRO.
SRO
Yeah.
into more play with
Okay.
both the county.
Right.
So, I mean, that's just,
When's
and I
this-
think after speaking with him yesterday, yeah, he intends on it.
When's this school board meeting?
Tonight.
Right. Yeah, make sure and just kind of open it. We're interested in this. I guess I should ask these guys, but we need to do something and see how we can make it work. So you can have our support behind you.
Great, thank you.
No, thank you guys for
Thanks
coming
for
in.
your
Thanks for
time.
bringing it to our attention. Appreciate it. Okay, we'll go on to the 10:31 Healthy Granite County Network update with Network Director. I don't know how to say her name.
Kayla. It's Kayla.
I'm just teasing. It's Kayla.
It's our girl
I have to
Kayla.
introduce you, I'm sorry.
It could be a show. It's Kayla, like in Cheers. Kayla.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Keep us posted though. Definitely
Yeah.
call them. You got my
We'll
number,
sit right in front of
so you can
Okay.
call me anytime.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Cheryl, you're on.
All right, hi. How's everybody today?
Good.
Thanks for letting me give an update. So, most of you are aware of us, but I'll just give a brief little recap of how we started. So the Healthy Granite County Network, we started in 2018 with a HRSA, Federal Health Resources Services Agency, network planning grant. And with that grant, we put a group of people together who were interested in the health and wellness of Granite County residents. So we have health organizations like the Medical Center, Southwest Montana Community Health Center, Western Montana, and then we have retired and current practitioners, and then we have schools, public health, and just local residents like myself that are interested in helping out. We did a needs assessment when we first started. So we had a survey and we had town halls, and we found that mental health resources and in-home health and respite care were top priorities for people in the Granite County area. So for the past 3 years, we've been focusing on mental health. So we've put together a model that uses health resources coordinators to bring access to residents in Granite County. So we're trying to keep the services local rather than force people to go out of the area. And we do that by trying to recruit more providers into the area using telehealth, technology, and then these health resources coordinators who can help refer people. And, you know, we do have more resources than most people even know. So we're a good place to start for people in the county. So thanks to you guys too, we're co-located with the Public Health Department. So we are located here, but we are not a county entity. We are not county paid. So sometimes that gets a little confusing for folks, but really the location works really well and it makes sense because we're accessible to everyone being in the county space. So we really appreciate you guys giving us that. We're in Drummond Public Health Clinic and down here in the basement, as you all know. So last year we were able to continue our funding. Once our planning grant ran out, we were kind of this volunteer, where are we gonna go now? So we were searching to fund ourselves. And Intermountain Healthcare out of Salt Lake, which is a massive healthcare system, approached us because they're set up as a nonprofit system. And their goal is to reach out to rural communities and help in any way they can. They're religious driven. So they really truly are just there to try and help. And so they had the money to help us get the grant writers and wrote a grant. And we received a HRSA, again, telehealth network grant. So with these funds, we've been able to hire our health resources coordinators. It's a 4-year grant. We're going into our 2nd year. So we have our health resources coordinators, myself, we were able to keep the network running. And they don't want to come in and take anything over, but they do want to help us fill any gaps that we see or that we have. And it's a telehealth grant. So the grant was originally written to have 1 health resources coordinator, and we hired Anna Bergerson in February. And so then we were like, well, maybe we could use 2, and we reallocated some funds and we hired Katie Muley in June. And then we heard Ashley Westfall was planning on maybe leaving, and we really wanted to keep her involved. So originally we had a remote psych nurse practitioner written into the grant that would be in Intermountain and a staff member there. And we asked if we could maybe move that and make that local. And so we were able to bring Ashley Westfall under this as well in October. So now we have Intermountain is currently staffing a 24/7 mental health crisis line. So it's a telecrisis line. So anyone that goes into the ER in a mental health crisis can get evaluated right away. And the evaluation is important because then the staff at the hospital knows what to do with that person. And then it's also very, very convenient because the mental health provider at Intermountain will stay with that person until, if they need to find them, you know, a bed in a facility, they will do that. It doesn't have to be the local providers doing that. They'll do that follow-up, all that necessary work. So I've also talked to Scott over here about getting the same type of crisis line for the jail. And then we also have this sheet here for you. I don't know, did you get it? Yes. Okay. So there's a little data sheet here for you guys. I know I tried to make it pretty. I'm not a data pro or anything, but this is our combined, just to kind of show our impact in the past from February through December. So not quite a full year, but Anna started in February 1st through the end of December of 2021. So you can see here over 92 clients have received or are receiving assistance. And then I broke it down into the types of assistance or case management they're receiving. So referred to primary care or other healthcare or the psych nurse practitioner. Counseling, social services, that's because most people, but multiple people for sure, are referred to more than one place. And you know, it's a process, and we stick with those people through that, and we do follow up and make sure that they're getting what they need. So down here, I broke it down into the same colored boxes there at the bottom with the primary care and other healthcare referrals. So you can kind of get a picture here of we're not only helping people, but we're also keeping those people local by referring them to primary care here or Grant County Medical Center, the local licensed clinical professional counselor or the local LCSW. Great Divide school psychiatry. And then obviously there are things that we have to send people out, like the OBGYN, those kinds of specialists that we don't have here. COVID vaccine, we'll send them straight over to public health. Home care, adult daycare. So that's the SW is Southwest Montana Community Health Center. And then the psych mental health nurse practitioner is Ashley. And I put up here just kind of the appointment visit types that Ashley does. So mostly she's doing initial psychiatric diagnostic evaluation and medication management. And then she has the subsequent medication management appointments. She does a little bit of individual and group psychotherapy as well. The types of counseling we do, family, couples, individuals, social services. So we've helped people with the marketplace get their insurance, SNAP benefits, youth dynamics, really anything that we can help someone get the resources or, you know, help them actually work through it, we'll do it. Social Security, the Job Corps. Anna works with Child Protective Services quite a lot. And then the education that they provide. So we've got all the psychoeducation. Anna actually can participate in the individualized education plans. She is currently actually working, most of her time is spent with youth in Drummond and Hall schools. So we actually have her physically sitting in the school in Drummond and doing appointments with kids and in Hall as well. We do not have that in Phillipsburg, even though it is a need and it's been brought to my attention way more than once by the teachers and staff there. Unfortunately, the school still has a contract with Alta Care, and we don't want to step on that any toes there. But we have offered that if, you know, students, Anna's usually here on Thursdays, if somebody needs to come up and make an appointment with her and see her, or obviously we can do telehealth, you know, we're here, but we're not sitting in the Phillipsburg school yet. Maybe one day. Yes, yet.
Got money for an SRO?
I know, I was listening to all of that. I don't have any money, but I might be able to help find some. That's a good question. It's a good question. And you know, the drugs and substance that's happening in our schools, absolutely, we need to, you know, I think it's a really good idea.
We have a substance abuse prevention person. Youth Cares just hired someone yesterday.
Oh, good. Yay.
Yeah, I just got them connected. So.
Well, let's get them in the school every day, all day. Okay. So Katie actually, sorry. So Katie actually just recently completed her health coaching certificate as well. So she can do individual health coaching sessions with folks, which is cool. And then we do any kind of legal assistance too. I know Ashley has actually worked with Blaine here with some folks in the jail. And then we do refer people to legal services and the victim advocate in the YWCA. So this number 34 down here, these are people involved in a health promotion support. So Katie did a Facebook promotion group and health coaching and things a little bit online. And then Ashley did a grief support group. She was actually approached to do the group. So those people aren't included in our individual or our total client count. But this is just kind of a snapshot. You know, I feel like in less than a year, we've come a long ways and, you know, we've made a pretty big impact for the size of communities that we're in. And our name is finally getting out there. People are finally starting to reach out to us.
Good.
And ask us for resources.
Cool.
So
Good for you guys.
yeah.
Awesome.
Does anyone have any questions for me?
Doing good. Thank you for all your hard work.
All right,
All of
thank you
your
guys.
serious.
Yeah.
Awesome presentation.
Oh, thank you.
Yes,
All right.
awesome. Good job, Caleb.
Thanks, guys.
I think sometimes they call it Granite County Healthy Network.
Oh my gosh, the name, I know, the name.
Don't get mad at me.
It's all right. I actually do it too.
Did you guys have a comment on this?
Up to the next.
Oh,
Great.
all right. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Yes.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hey, we got a couple minutes. I gotta make a phone call quick.
Okay. Thanks, Kayla.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, we're back on for the 1045 proposed DNRC planning grant for required improvements from Part 12 inspection. Discussion decision.
This is the one that Jeremiah was talking about, to do the planning grant for Joyce. Anyway, I have been working with Craig Erickson. We started the grant in submittable last week, and I just need authorization to apply for the grant.
Do I have a motion?
I make a motion that we get grant authorization.
Any public comment? Being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried and passed. Go ahead.
Okay, I need you to sign these.
Just get a signature stamp. So we can start stamping.
Elena has a comment now. Elena has a comment now. Please, God.
Okay, go ahead, Elena.
Thank you. For the record, Elena Gagliano. I noticed that in the documents, there's 2 pages to this. Just clarification. This is the ARPA Water and Sewer Infrastructure Grant. Is that what you're signing?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
So was my motion incorrect then?
But it's through DNRC, correct? So
Okay,
is, your motion said to approve
to approve the grant authorization, I guess
Yeah.
DNRC.
You could add that clarification to your motion, but I think it's fine.
Okay, add it.
Okay, so we're off till 10:50.
Unmute yourself. Oh, you are.
He's clear.
Flint Creek Dam Emergency Action Plan and Status Update, Discussion and Decision.
Okay. He wasn't here if you
Oh,
want
you
to.
weren't in here when I explained it. So the emergency action plan was updated, or is what we went through and updated when we did the tabletop exercise in December. So there's a letter in there from Jackie kind of going through everything that was updated in the emergency action plan. I also have a copy for you guys to review of the updated emergency action plan. And then that top page is what you guys need to sign. Vicky's coming over to notarize it, and then we will get it all e-filed to her.
Are you doing the e-filing or is Jeremiah?
I do my darndest. It's not my, I have a hard time figuring out which dockets go with which, but, if I can't figure it out, I should let Jeremiah. This will probably be through Jeremiah. They file with simple things like change of contact form.
So when does this have to be in?
The due date?
Yeah.
Jeremiah sent it to me last week, so.
Do you want more time? to
So this
review
is
it?
proposed and we're saying yes for the Part 12 inspection. So we have to make a decision.
This is just on the,
Dam emergency action plan.
this is just on the, EAP. So it's not on the.
So this
it's not
is-
on the Part 12.
So this
That was
is,
already approved.
okay, this is continuing work in progress, more or less, is what,
You guys, yeah,
Cause I think,
you're approving the plan and sending it to FERC.
okay.
It's the one that's been in the long, they got a grant for this as well.
fine. They've all planned.
Thanks.
Cause I think this kind of evolves too, as we go through like the full exercise, right? The emergency action plan is kind of a living document. I think.
Yeah.
Is there any public comment on this?
Jackie Bowles, right?
Where's she at?
Here she is.
Go ahead, Jackie. I didn't see her hand.
Well, that's fine. Yeah, Blanche, this is that status report that's due every year to FERC, along with the updated action plan.
Okay. Thank you.
She explained it much better.
Thank you, Jackie.
Yes.
I didn't see her hand.
Did you guys motion?
Yeah, I think we made a motion. Didn't we make a motion on it?
Didn't I already?
I
Did I?
don't think you did. I think you made a
I think it was
motion on
the
the
other
other
one.
one, yeah.
Oh, okay. Entertain a motion.
Okay. I make a motion that proposed DNRC planning grant.
I'll say,
That was the last one.
It's the emergency action plan status.
Okay.
I'll second it. Any public comment? Being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried, pass. Great.
Perfect, thank you.
Not you, I wasn't saying hi to you. I'm sorry, Billy.
I thought you said-
Hey.
I'm just passing through, but I wanted to just make one comment. I want to thank the road commission, Grant County, for doing one heck of a good job during all this snow.
Wow, thank you.
You know where we are up there, and you guys have done just really great work, and I just wanted to stop by this meeting and say to Paul and his guys that.
Thank you. I'll
really
pass
good.
it on to them. Thanks.
And there's also a good tow service that comes up there sometimes. I don't know which
Who
one.
would that be?
I don't know. but-
Well, thank you, buddy. I'll pass it on to them. Appreciate that. That means a lot.
All right.
Have a good day.
You too, guys.
We've not heard anything back from Flicker Hydro, but I'd still be patient because they're.
Yeah, we just kind of put it back on every week just in case something.
Yeah, I think it's good.
So I guess since we haven't heard nothing, we'll go ahead and go shut off till 11 o'clock.
11:15,
Or what's that?
11 or 11:15?
11:15.
Well,
We might
11?
better come
you
on.
might,
at
you
11.
might come on 11 and.
So we have
see
to wait till
what
11.
happens.
Better wait till 11.
Then we can,
Let's wait until 11.
yeah, we'll shut off till 11.
Okay.
Then we'll. Okay, we're on for the negotiations with Flint Creek Hydro with Judge McLean. Any comments on this?
We haven't received any written offer for Flicker Hydro. I believe they're still working on it, so.
Okay.
Urge you to table it, but keep keeping it on every week.
You guys have any comments? Any public comments? Being none, we'll go off to 11:15. Thank you. Okay, we're on the 11:15 one, obstructions across Brown Gulch Access Road. Did you say Linda was coming down? I called her. First one, I have a letter from Jim that's to the commissioners. I think they wanted it read.
Jim.
Okay,
Becky,
you want me to read it?
yeah.
You want me to wait till
Yeah.
Billy returns?
Yeah, I thought Linda was coming.
Get Linda down here.
She's on there.
All right, from email from Jim McKay, February 7th, 2022. To commissioners, would you clearly state what decision is being made and the exact wording of the motion? So there's no ambiguity concerning what has been decided and what will result from the decision. We'd like to recap what we've understood the issue was. Concern was raised about blockage on Browns Gulch Road, and 3 old mineral plats are on file on the BLM website were presented as proof the blockage is on Browns Gulch Road. We presented our survey 833 plat, July 13, 2010 meeting minutes, E911 mapping and Montana cadastral data, documentation on file at the Granite County Courthouse. That all document the fact that Tungsten Lane is a private access to track 3 and 4 of the Locks and McKay's land. February 1st meeting is made clear the blockage was not on Browns Gulch Road. Thank you, Jim and Carol McKay. The only thing I'd clarify is we found the 1915 Granite County map after that. But I do agree that today you could potentially do a motion unless more time is needed.
No, I went through the geologic records as thoroughly as possible. They're missing a book. There's notations of their roads in that book, but that book's missing, but I can't find the petition for Browns Gulch at all.
So.
I'd like to make a comment, if I may.
Yep. Go ahead.
I think the fact that the 1915 map depicting what was public roads was done by the county surveyor, Earl Patton, and it is in existence, I think, because even if it is cloudy, and it is cloudy and murky, but this map is in existence, so it is saying that it was a public road. I think that the commission needs to uphold the fact that the map that is in existence is a public road, and that removal of obstructions be removed, or that the homeowners, property owners petition to abandon the road. That's how I feel about it. And I don't know how you guys feel.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just saying because it is in existence, whether it be a negative or the original, and like Linda said, things are lost, things are getting lost or have been lost in the past. And I know the maps that were in the clerk recorder's office now, years ago, were old maps of the town were found down in some office downtown. So things did not get brought here at times properly, but I'm saying that this map is in existence. So
one issue on this is Browns Gulch access road, so it really isn't, it's not Browns Gulch Road. So I don't think there's any dispute about Browns Gulch Road itself, but there's strong evidence there with the 1915 map on Browns Gulch access road, or Wayan Road, as I've seen it in maps. What I'd encourage you to do, though, if you're going to do a motion like that, is to potentially look at giving if you're going to asking them to remove the obstruction, to give them time deadline to do the petition.
So Linda, you made a comment that we would state, remove it, or how would it work, or get the petition
So
immediately, or what?
that's what I thought, was that you could just say it has to be removed within X amount of time, or a petition be submitted. And if the petition's submitted, it kind of puts everything on hold, and if it gets abandoned, they never have to remove the petition. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and that's an option, or it could say we're gonna put that notice of removal of obstructions 60 days out, unless there's a petition filed, and that would hold off any further action until you go through the process on whether it be a public hearing on the petition if it was filed.
Is there any comments on that?
I want to comment on the closure, but not necessarily on this portion.
Okay. Yeah, state your name and come on up.
Okay.
Mic, it's recorded on, or shown on Zoom, so.
I'm very hard of hearing, I'm sorry. I spent all the years in the industrial shop and I can't hear. Okay, I'll sit down too, because my legs are bad. My name is Phil Richardson. I own property at 78 Browns Gulch Road. I really have problems with your 2010 meeting. As a landowner down there, I should have been notified that you were going to consider closing the road. Now, I have used the road over 200 times. But my problem with the meeting in 2010, it was not advertised properly. I was not notified. The two key witnesses had they invested interest in that property, and they testified, in my opinion, they had a conflict of interest from hell. They were selling the property. The man from Arkansas had signed a buy-sell agreement a week before your meeting, and he took possession 3 weeks after your meeting. Now, that road, when I bought my property, I bought from Jim Young. I done my own title search. As a matter of fact, you helped me, you probably don't remember, 2004. And I traced the county road all the way through the right fork, which you guys refer to access road or the spur road. And it was definitely in the same language as the rest of the bloody road from Stumptown all the way through. In 2010, they put a gate across it and it promptly got ripped out. And then at that point, it's been open for the public for the last 12 years until now, which would qualify for prescriptive easement. It's been used open and notoriously by all the citizens of the county, and no one has opposed it until they put in the log barricades. Now, I need it for fire, and the next thing, which is a rub, Mr. Lark plows a road, Stewart Lake Road, from the bottom up to his property. I snowmobile. My route of choice was going through the spur road or the right fork, which was never plowed, and I go up to Stewart Lake, over Wyman Gulch, Princeton, wherever I want to go. Now with the bloody road plowed, I run in dirt. And if you do close that road, I'm going to request that half of that Stewart Lake Road be left unplowed so we have some place to run the snowmobiles. This is where the county gets its revenue. It's not from the Sweet Palace and the stuff downtown. People spend a lot of money to come here to recreate in the forest. Summertime probably don't matter much except for fire. I want 2 ways out of this place. But in the winter, I want a place to run my snowmobile. I pay the fees to run it, and I don't believe that a landowner can lock us out of the forest. And my next point is these roads were there before they bought the property. The roads were there before they built. This is no surprise. Now all of a sudden they want to close them. Well, they use my roads. Contact mine and leaves tremendous roads open up there. I leave the Border House Loop Road open, goes through my property. When are you going to put a line and say no more closed roads? In 2002, it cost me $50,000 to get closed a road. I owned the Harvard Point radio station, the AT&T site. Bought it, and the county commissioners closed the road and gave it to adjacent landowners. I couldn't get up to the property no more. So I sold it for a pittance to get out of it. I don't want any more roads closed. Okay. And you can't wish them open again once you close them.
Okay, well, thanks for your, go ahead, Blaine.
One comment on the 2010 commission meeting. I don't think any of these commissioners were on there then, but probably not. And also, they said we have a feeling it's a private road. There was no motion or decision made at that meeting.
I was going to ask, in legal terms, what does I have a feeling mean?
Well, that was not a formal decision of the commission.
Right. And that's the point I'm bringing up. And then the claim it was an ATV trail. that's the best part of Browns Gulch. The rest of the muddy bog going around the left fork with Mr. Locks, they dumped in, I don't know how many truckloads of gravel. It won't help. It's a muddy bog. The other fork, the right fork you want to close, is on good rock. It's an excellent road.
So we're not talking about Browns Gulch Road itself.
No.
We're just talking about that access.
Right, we're talking about the fork. But I'm saying the fork is a better quality road than the rest of Browns Gulch.
Okay, well, thank you for your comments.
Well, didn't we see pictures of it? It was all muddy.
What's that?
I thought we saw pictures of it. It was all muddy.
His wife had pictures of it. She brought 2 weeks ago.
Are you saying, which, I'm trying to clarify what side you're saying is the bog? The
Bog
side by logs?
It was the left side by Locks.
Okay, that's the one that's, we're calling the Browns Gulch access road.
Okay, well, I
Yeah.
thought they changed it to Tungsten Avenue or,
Well, and that was a sign that was,
Okay.
yeah.
but,
You use that one's not, there's no plan to close that.
right, I know that, but what I'm saying is the right fork is a better quality road than the left fork. And the left fork is the one that is a county road. And the right fork, I'm contending, is a county road too.
Oh, you're saying that what we're calling the access road, you're calling Browns Gulch.
Right,
Road.
right fork.
Right.
Yeah, right fork.
Yeah.
And then the left fork would be the one along the bottom of their property.
Yeah.
We're just talking about the section of road that, the timbers are on.
Right. Well, I read in the testimony of the 2010 meeting that the claim was an ATV trail.
No.
And it's a far better road than anything else down there.
Okay, well, thank you for your comments. Is there any other comments? Come on up. State your name. and-
Thank you. My name's Ron Locke. I was here last week. Just as you'd said, you had suggested a motion or like that to declare it a county road. I think you're just working this whole process backwards, really.
Actually, not to declare it as a county road, to uphold the fact
Okay.
that there is a map
Okay,
depicting
we're
it
gonna
as
stay
county
civil
road.
today or I'll
Oh, yeah.
shut it right down.
We're not declaring
Okay,
it.
I'm just gonna start it right now.
I'm not trying to be uncivil. I'm just stating. it.
No, I'm
I
just
thought this
stating
was-
that I didn't
Okay.
say declare it. I said
Okay.
uphold the
Okay,
fact
so
that,
uphold the fact
Yeah.
that it's a county road.
yes, yes,
Well, I would state that it was never made a county road to begin with.
okay.
And my opinion by that was, I know the county attorney had given you, I believe, a case from 2004, Supreme Court case, I believe it was, that said, anyway, he had cited that, it's a public road, so it's a public road. There also, I think, I don't know what you have there, but there's actually a Supreme Court case. It's almost, and I kind of alluded to it last meeting, but there's a Supreme Court case from actually 2021, and it dates back to 2012. And what that was is in Fergus County. And, oh, I'm sorry, it was in Fergus County. And kind of the same type of deal. Anyway, without giving all the details, district court affirmed, in that case, it was a public land use actually, I'm sorry. Public Land Water Access Association. What happened was the county said this private road, or it was alleged to be a private road. Some people alleged it to be a public road. The county determined, well, we're not going to get involved in that. We believe it's a private road. So this Public Access Association sued the landowners and said, no, it's a public road. So what happened was the district court in Fergus County, they heard 5 days of testimony, experts, everything like that. They said, no, it was a private road. And it was affirmed later in 2021, this is 2012, 2021, the Supreme Court affirmed that. And what they said, and as you had said, it was on it, you're basically going on the fact that it was in a survey, a county road map around 1915. This was the same type of case. Actually, it was 1915, I believe, it was a survey in Fergus County. And the district court, subsequently affirmed by the Montana Supreme Court, said, merely placing a route on a map does not alone indicate the county took action to make the route a county road. Additional testimony indicated the road book was often, a road book in the county often included petition numbers next to the petition road or other references where documents pertaining to the approval of a road found in the public record. From what I heard from the county planner, there's none of that. All there is there's a map from 1915 that says it's a road. The district court found that the PLWA, Public Lands and Water Association, did not prove the road indicated on the Bowles survey was indeed the disputed road. They couldn't even prove that that road that was on that is in fact that road. I don't think there's been any testimony that we even determined that. Nobody's looked up there to see. We're kind of like all talking. Even Phil had just said, well, the right fork or this and that, So it said the district court found Fergus County took no action to make the survey a county road. There's no action. As far as I know from what county planner said, there's no action in the record that says there's no notations or anything like that. The district court ultimately concluded that the appearance of the disputed trail on various maps does not carry great weight in terms of establishing a public road. Once there is a fee, the landowner's expert, and I believe the district court affirmed, said that once there's a feature on a map, it keeps getting repeated on successive maps with addition of new information on a new map. Moreover, a road appearing on a map is not proof of use. The district court concluded, and the Supreme Court affirmed, that the disputed road does not lend itself to much use at all. This road, I think we would say it doesn't lend itself to much use. I think we all can agree that probably 3/4 of the year, it's not even passable prior to Mr. McKay actually improving the road. So, and the Supreme Court, just one more thing and I'll be done. The Supreme Court said it is certainly true that maps may assist in verifying that a road was created. Much like I agree with you, Commissioner Clerk. But likewise true, however, that merely showing a road exists on a map is insufficient proof of county action to create a public road. That was from the Supreme Court, and that was in 2021. It was Public Land Water Access Association versus Robbins or whatever, who are the landowners. So I think what we're doing here is kind of backwards. You made a decision on January 4th to declare it was a county road. Am I correct in that? In January 4th meeting, I think that was
We
said.
didn't declare it. We just.
Or you affirmed, I guess.
Yeah,
you said.
referring that it was.
The motion was on the, regarding the ordering that the blockage be removed.
Yeah, that wasn't that.
But I think you said it was a county road, therefore the blockage must be removed. I think, I don't know, I could be wrong.
Right. So it wasn't declaring it was.
Okay.
opposing.
So now, and then it seems now we're going for 3 weeks trying to find evidence to prove that it was a county road.
Absolutely.
And it seems like it's backwards. What should be declared is, first of all, we have no evidence that was ever declared a county road. All we have is on a county map. Well, I would argue probably from 1915, there's probably a lot of things have changed in this county. And I would caution any landowner who's purchased the land after 1915 might want to look at their plats, because we also have in the record a survey from Hans Borenson in 2009 that says it's a private road. That's recorded in the county. So I just think there's a lot of dispute here. And I think the county, before you want to put it on to the landowners to petition to abandon it, I think the county should petition to make it a county road officially first. Then we'll talk about what we're going to do with it, if that's what you want to do. That's what I think we're kind of putting the cart before the horse. That's all I have to say. Thank you very much.
Any other comments?
Linda, what would you like? Oh, go
Sorry,
ahead.
Blanche.
Oh, sorry.
I agree with them on arguing that something's, there's a prescriptive right to something. You gotta have some proof that it was actually used here. This is different altogether in that there's actually a county road map that shows it. So it's not this isn't just someone pulling out of their hat. I mean, it's official county map, correct?
So you're saying the easiest way to get rid of this problem is to do a petition to abandon that road?
Yeah.
But the remedy that Mr. Locke's talking about is that would be going into court first to have a court decide if it's a county road or not. This way is to go through the petition process, and then they don't like the decision, then they could bring litigation. I mean, so this method of going through the petition process, and then you can decide how you want to rule on it, decide on it, would hopefully resolve the issue. But if it doesn't, then there'd be
So what you're saying, Blaine, is that we can say we are upholding, and Linda, we are upholding the fact that it is a county road being depicted in a 1915 map that the county surveyor at that time, it's of record. But we're missing document numbers, we're missing petitions, and petitions are missing, so that's why it's real cloudy and murky.
Well,
But wait, so what I'm saying is, okay, there's proof on this that it is a county map. It's a negative map, it's a mess, but that shows, okay, at one point, the county surveyor of Granite County said, this is a county, this is access road off of Browns Gulch is county, and that's a fact, right? That is a fact. That's a fact,
No,
that we have the
No,
map.
well, you can say it's
Okay.
fact, I would dispute that fact.
Okay, you're
Okay.
disputing it, but we showed you in living color
Well, yeah,
that
they
there
showed
it
me there was a
is.
line on the map.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen any evidence to say that it's actually a county road.
So that was
Which
depicted
is
in,
what my
okay,
final
well,
point
anyway,
is.
that's beside the point.
Okay.
What we're saying, it is cloudy, it is cloudy. Blaine says it's cloudy. You're saying declare it a road. We can't declare it a road because we're saying it is one. So what you would want to do, what you would want to do is petition that to close it, to abandon
Well,
it.
I appreciate.
Why declare it and then
Well, I
petition to close
appreciate
it?
your opinion, we just had it.
Yeah.
We differ on.
We have another comment too from Carol and.
Okay, so then, I guess I don't totally think it's cloud. I think there's a dispute there. I mean, I'm still giving my opinion saying, so, that I believe is evidence it's county road.
Okay, go ahead. We'll take this comment from Carol. Sorry about that.
Go ahead. No, I'm just wanting to.
Good. Go ahead, Carol.
Hi, Jim and I are both on this. This comments from Jim.
Yeah, this is Jim Baquet. I just want to try to clarify like our email that we sent in, because I think it's an important point that we clarify a couple of issues. One is there anyone that's not comfortable with the fact that we have a survey on file at the courthouse that indicates right now that it's a private road? Is that everyone in agreement with that?
Am I in agreement that that's
There's a-
correct? I mean, there's a lot of county
No,
documents. accuracy.
No.
that's survey, period.
The one survey 833, indicates that it's a private road. It says private road on that access.
We disagree on that.
I believe they stamped it at one time.
We disagree on that?
No, wait, I'm sorry. I thought the commission was supposed to answer, please.
What?
What's that? They had like three people talking. Blaine was answering your question.
Who's talking?
Okay, we're listening.
What?
So there's lots of documentation recorded.
Go ahead, Blaine.
He is.
There's lots of recorded information in the courthouse that the county's not saying it's accurate, it's allowing it to be recorded. So is the county bound by that? No, they're not, to say that's a private road.
So what you're saying is.
Okay,
on the actual-
thank you.
Okay, excuse me. What you're saying on the actual, and that survey number 833, Hance noted private road. So he wrote in there, private road. He didn't depict a road. He just said private road. Because that boundary goes right through that survey, and it looks like the boundary line between those two tracks is the road. But that's just a boundary line through there.
Front is the private access.
He depicts a private, but he doesn't dot it out as a private road.
It's a line, much like.
That's
any
the,
other
that's the
line.
survey line, that's splitting the property. So you're saying that the property line goes down the middle of the road? Is that what you're saying?
And it
Right
says-
down the
it
middle
says
of the road?
30 foot easement, utility.
Close to it.
Whoa. We got people, too many talking here at once. Just a second.
So
Blaine, go ahead and then I'll get back with you there, okay? We'll let them.
did Hans have all the information at the time? That's also an issue. There's the issue of To say the county made a representation at one time, you can never change that. That's incorrect. There's case law on that where there's a case out of Park County. It's Park County versus Elk Park, where the county recorded and said it was valid. Later on, the county said it was invalid. They were sued and said, you made the representation that deed is valid. And the court said, you're not, the county's not stopped from changing their position on it. It's a work in progress, and the Elk Park, the subdivider, could have gotten an attorney at that time and made their own representations on it. So to say the county's bound by every document that's recorded here is incorrect.
Okay, go ahead now. Did you have a comment?
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I've got another clarification that I'd like to make, that I broke the law when I fixed up my private road, that the survey called a private road, that I am now a criminal. Is that correct?
No, who said that?
Who said that?
I'm asking I'm asking you if I am correct in that. I understand that there's a MCA that says you can't block a public road, but I blocked a private road. So therefore, did I break the law when I obstructed what was called a private road on my survey?
So the first part was maintaining it. That for sure, maintaining it is would not be a criminal action. And for it to be a criminal action, you have to have knowledge or be aware of what that it was a open road, and you did not have that knowledge. So so at this point, I'm not saying that you violated any criminal laws. But
Okay, one last point of clarification, please. Have I got the floor again, Mr. Chairman?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, my last point of clarification will be if I was in my house right now in my residence and I wanted to go to town and I plowed my private driveway, would I be in violation of a law?
If you went to town and filed it as a private road, you're in
So
violation of what?
So the county now does have a policy where if people are going to plow or do work on a county road, they come in and work out an agreement with the county commissioners. So going forward, that would be the expectation there. My advice to the commission is to say they're going to hold off ordering it, the fence across be removed, and give a time deadline on when a petition to abandon could be filed, or they'll just continue on with how they're going to decide.
So they're not going to decide.
Any other comments? Oh, go ahead, state your name.
Joe Contraman, CONTRAMAN. It seems to me that the whole issue here is that the realtor was the one at fault, who did not do due diligence when he decided to resurvey the area and break it into lots. As Phil said, when he bought his place, he made sure where the roads went and so forth. So it seems to me it's not the county's fault, it's the realtor's fault. And whether it's plotted on a map or not, that goes back to 1915. This whole area is rich with history. It's one of the things we like about, being here. So there's also longevity of people who have used that road for over 100 years. So I think you have to take that into consideration also. And I think too, what Phil said, the reason people love this area it's the beauty around it and being able to access the lakes and hunting and fishing and snowmobiling and four-wheeling and so forth. So I think that the county needs to take that into consideration too, because the people who live here and love it are here because of that. And the people who come here, the tourists and the vacationers, they spend money in the town. That supports the town also. And it's because of what we have. Anyway.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Should the case have another comment?
Go ahead.
Sir, this is Carol Baquet, and I guess I'm concerned about the 500 yards of Tungsten Lane affecting anyone or imposing a deficit in your current income of any kind. And Mr. Richardson actually offered, why not give him access to part of the road going, the actual Browns Gulch Road, that allows him to come around the other side. Not why are we not even considering that? Because he seemed to be happy with that idea.
Okay, go ahead, Blaine.
So Browns Gulch Road itself is a county road, so he has access. I think he was talking about having two ways to get out, but maybe he could clarify that.
Yes.
Two ways to get out, sir. That's 500 yards. He's not getting out anywhere else except for Stewart Lake Road.
Okay, he's gonna comment on that.
All right, thank you.
I was wanting the access road left open so we could use that for the snowmobiles, which we have for the last 30, 40 years. We use the road.
Yes, sir.
Around winter. Now, if you close the right fork, which I would find to be insanity, then Mr. Locke is going to need to leave half of the Stewart Lake Road unplowed so we have a snowmobile path. It's not fair to lock us out of the woods because he wants the road.
Okay, thank you. So we're gonna move on here and.
Sir, may I please say one more thing?
Go ahead.
Please. Mr. Richardson, thank you. Mr. Richardson, you referred to the road being better. That is because we have maintained it. We have put gravel on it. We even put the culvert on our driveway so that the water would come through there, trying to rechannel all that muddy water. And that's why it's better. Now, if the county road that, isn't as easy for you to get through, that's the county road, Browns Gulch. I can't touch that road.
Okay.
But I can the private road. So I'm trying to find a simple solution. This seems to be upsetting too many people. Like when we actually did this, the first thing someone did is damage the road. That hurts you, Mr. Richardson, anyone else also. And it wasn't done because they wanted to come through and enjoy it like you're talking. They came up there with intentions of damaging it. They pulled out gates. They did the wheelies or whatever it is, that holding the brakes down and dug ruts into it. How is that helping? I mean, you got to think also, we're trying to get into town also when we're up there.
All right, well, thank you. I guess what's the plan here, Blaine?
You could accept a motion.
Somebody want to make a motion on
I'll make
this?
a motion that we uphold the fact that this is considered a county road that is depicted on the 1915 map.
Do I have a second?
And, well, any more
What do you mean anymore?
petition?
Well, yeah, this is that upholding the fact that it is a county road would therefore give the property owners ability to petition to abandon the road.
Would you give it, are you willing to stay enforcing that until you give them
Yeah.
a certain amount of time to
Right.
file a petition?
Oh, okay, so this is like the removing the obstructions. So this is what the, okay.
Well, kind of, I was thinking of a global motion that.
What was it?
Okay. So our initial complaint was there was obstructions across the Brown Gulch access road. And we requested they remove the obstruction, correct? And then we got all the information from different, that we've got a disagreement on both sides, whether or not it's private, whether or not it's a public road. So one says the homeowners say private, and I am saying that we need to uphold the fact that it is a public road by the depiction from the 1915 map, and therefore give the property owners a right to petition to abandon that.
And we say most likely,
Most
a
likely.
county road.
Most likely.
That's
Well,
fine.
you can't, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's.
Evidence of a county road.
Do you want me to, what? You want me to say most likely?
But I just asked it. We could put that in,
Okay,
most likely. a
most
county
likely,
road.
most likely,
And so. for that
because,
fact,
yeah.
Then we
Okay.
will. I don't want to say it, so.
Well, you guys are gonna have to clarify that motion, especially on this
Do you want me to,
topic.
do you want me to attempt to write it out for you? And-
Yeah, I need you, I wanted it to be able to, because they're saying it's also could be a prescriptive road. So people could come in and say it's a prescriptive road and take it to court.
I believe that would be it. My contention would be that it seems like where it's going is that this has to be disputed in court because it's not, I mean, prescriptive road has to be determined by a court of law.
Yeah.
There's a dispute on it. So, you can't declare that, with all due respect.
So this right
But you're saying
here,
it's a county road, we're
Right.
saying it's not.
right,
I guess-
and so we're upholding that it is, and you're saying it's, so you petition.
I don't think it ever was to begin with.
Okay, well, that's.
We disagree on the facts. I know.
We
disagree on the
this
facts. I
is,
understand.
yeah, I mean, we're
You're
arguing
the county
this.
commission, you
Right.
can say that.
Yeah.
And we can decide to do what we want to do then.
Yeah.
So that's what we just,
Okay.
I think that's what Mr. McCain wants is clarification. You're saying that it's a county road.
That's what we need to do is,
Right. But
yeah,
I'm saying it's a county road because we need, if we. have
so
to
that you
go
can
further.
do your petition to abandon it.
Well, I don't think that's the route we'll go, but that's.
Okay.
but we go a different route.
I mean, that would be the simple route to go.
No, really, the simple route would have been to say, it's a private road, let's investigate further to make sure it is in fact a county road, because I haven't seen any evidence of county road other than on a map. And according to the Montana Supreme Court, that does not make it a county road.
All right, we're gonna
That's
do this. We're in this motion here.
That's an awful long.
Yeah, it is. But I think it's global and it takes care of all the issues, I believe, but see if you can.
Read your writing.
Read your writing.
Just kidding.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I move to uphold Browns Gulch Access Road as likely being a county road with staying enforcement for 60 days to give time for the petition to abandon the road. If a petition is filed, enforcement will be stayed for the petition process. If a petition is not filed with the county within 60 days, the county will begin enforcement process to enforce this being county road. So all that and what's going to happen. Do I have a second? No.
Is there anything in the time he has to take down his homemade barricade?
What was that question?
I didn't hear.
I didn't hear you.
I guess he's got to give you, acknowledge you to be able to speak.
Yeah, well, we're still, do I have a second?
It's a tough one, but yeah.
Okay, so I have a second. Now, your comment was?
Oh, that perhaps there should also be something in there for
It's not within 60 days, petition's not filed within 60 days, but begin enforcement.
Any other public comments? We're moving ahead here. Being none,
Elena has one.
What?
Elena?
oh, go ahead, Elena.
Elena Gagliano, for the record, I have a question. That motion that you've agreed to, is that going to be put up online before the minutes are approved so everybody can take a look at it? And when do the 60 days start? From today or when?
Today.
And will it be put up online so we can read it?
The motion?
Yeah, the one that you just agreed to.
Going to be in the minutes, correct?
The motion will be in the minutes.
The motion will be in the minutes.
But that's not approved until next week. And so no, we're not going to be able to see it.
It will be in the recording online if you want to review it.
So it will be a copy on the YouTube website?
I upload the recording of the meeting right after the meeting, so.
That's the recording. To see the actual document, written document. I mean, if you're going to do 60 days from today, everybody should have access to the actual document to be able to see it, not until next week when you approve the minutes.
It's up to the, it's
So
be
the
up to the
motion-
commissioners. It's
Why
recorded.
would you change tactics by saying, okay, we want to put this up there
No.
when it isn't approved until next? I think this is a motion that's made.
Yes.
It's
And
been
we have a
seconded.
second.
We've got public comment and I think.
Thank you. We're moving
Okay.
ahead.
Okay.
Do you have another comment? from the
We're up
committee?
running out of time. I'd let it go way past what it's supposed to. What's your comment? It's gotta be really quick, cause we're,
Sir, I didn't hear, I know that Ms. McClure made the motion. I didn't hear who seconded it and I didn't hear the vote, but
Well,
I thought Jens did.
the second was Commissioner Hinkle, and we haven't finalized on it because I let the public comment go as we do. So now we're gonna finalize on it right now. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you, sir.
So motion been carried and passed. Now we can move on. I make a motion that we adjourn. It's 12 o'clock.